So, just today, a pair of flannel shirts that I ordered from Amazon arrived, and I'm wearing one of them right now. I didn't ever see myself as a flannel shirt wearer, but then it turns out you move somewhere like Pullman, where it's a bit chilly. I don't know what temperature is out there, but it's below freezing. I've shoveled 4 or 5 times over the past 2 days. I'm quite tired, but flannel shirts, it turns out, kind of keep you a little bit on the warmer side. You know, t-shirt underneath if you want to, a big heavy coat as well. And they don't need ironing or anything like that, so that's kind of cool. So this arrived and I looked at it, I was like, I got them, they were really cheap. I think it was like $15 or $16 for 2 shirts from them, on sale or whatever. And now I own more than half a dozen of such pieces of finery. One I stole from Lysander when his arms got too long for the sleeves. And don't regret that for a second because it's something easy to throw on. But I looked at this one and it really reminded me of the Bay City Rollers. I don't know how many of you remember the Bay City Rollers, big in the 70s. They were from Edinburgh and they used to be known by the Saxons or something like that, but they wanted to change their name and they apparently did that by sticking a pin in a map and winding up it pointing to Bay City in Michigan. So that's where they got the name from. But they famously wore tartan. They're from Edinburgh and sang songs like Bye Bye Baby. There was a cover version, but #1 hit for them. And I remember when I was a kid, the Bay City Rollers were huge in the mid-70s. So I was in primary school. And I remember to this day, everyone singing B-A-Y, B-A-Y, B-A-Y-C-I-T-Y with an R-O-L-L-E-R-S. Bay City Rollers are the best. I was like, how does that stick in my head after all this time? I could barely remember the song Bye Bye Baby, but I can remember that like it was yesterday. Anyway, that seemed like a great opportunity to make today's cocktail, which is called Flannel Shirt. And it was invented by Jeffrey Morgenthaler in Portland, fairly famous bartender. And I looked at a video with him in it, and he admits that when he makes cocktails at home, he doesn't shake them. This is a citrus, there's some citrus in this cocktail, but he blends them with just one sort of inch square ice cube. And it looks quite a good way to do things, but it's so noisy. I mean, it's noisy enough when I'm shaking a cocktail shake, and also it would take up, I've just got a new blender. I will come up with a drink that uses that one of these days, but the blender is so huge that it would, you wouldn't be able to see me. Okay, maybe that's a benefit for you all. Anyway, I'll go ahead and make this wonderful concoction. Let's get ready to put everything into my ice-filled cocktail shaker. There you can see the ice. I'm using my OXO jigger here. It's quite handy because it's got all the different measurements. I don't know if you can see that on the side. So you get quite a lot there. Let's see if you can see this other side. I don't want to mix it all up, but you can see the lines for sure. So it makes it quite easy for using just one jigger for all your drinks. Otherwise, you're using a couple of them with all the different measurements on them. And don't forget, cocktails, it's all about the ratios and the measurements. So anyway, this drink, it is of course a Scotch drink. It has to be. In my mind, I'm wearing plaid, as they call tartan over here. And I'm using this blended whiskey, which is Grant's. And I'm gonna have to pour this 3 times because it's 1 3/4 ounces of blended Scotch. That is to the 1 ounce mark. Next, I'm gonna go to the 1/2 ounce mark. Then to the 1/4 ounce mark in this jigger. I like this so much I did in fact get this for Kate for Christmas as a little stocking gift because I think it's a super useful one. Apart from the Difford's Easy Jigger, which is also very good, but I lost mine, wouldn't you know it. Okay, next ingredient. Let's go for apple juice. This is an apple cocktail, and Kate went through a whole, I'm gonna find the best apple cocktail going, and that's quite strong. It's an unfiltered one. It's with Honeycrisp apple juice. And we want 1.5 ounces of this unfiltered juice. There's 1.5. Anyway, I don't know if she'll really like this, but I'm gonna make her try it next time she's in Shay Richards Cocktail Lounge. It's not really, I suppose it is kind of Rick's Cafe American, but that seems a bit Casablanca-ish, and you wouldn't have caught Humphrey Bogart wearing a shirt like this. I'm 100%, 110% sure of that. Next ingredient, let's have some Averna, amaro, delicious stuff. One thing about this cocktail, we need 1/2 ounce of it. It is chock-a-block full of really flavorful and delicious smelling ingredients. So I think they all come together really quite harmoniously. Next ingredient, 1/4 of an ounce of some freshly squeezed lemon juice. Did I say how much did I say? 1/4 ounce. Is that what I said? Let's hope that's what I said, because that's how much we need. And that was all just half of a lemon. I only needed half of my half a lemon. Quarter lemon, I guess that's known as. Next ingredient, we are going to put in 1 bar spoon of demerara sugar syrup. It's not just straight 50-50, it's 2-to-1. So it's like a gum syrup. So 2-to-1 demerara sugar to water, brought to the boil, and then allowed to cool. And then the really interesting ingredient on this drink, I mean, these are all great ingredients, but this one is allspice dram. It's a West Indian liqueur, and it is just unbelievable. So rich. You can really smell cloves and allspice and all kinds of good things. It's kind of a rum-based drink. It's not very strong, but it's so overpoweringly delicious smelling that you don't need very much in this cocktail. So I'm going for half a bar spoon. It adds a lot of warmth to the drink. I'll just stir that in there to make sure we get all of that, like so. Final ingredient, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. 1, 2, and all these red and brown colors, just amazing. I'm fairly sure this is going to look pretty good, but let's find out. Shake that for about 20 seconds, and I have to admit, I'm not listening to Bay City Rollers. I do not have any Bay City Rollers. I'm listening to Bombay Bicycle Club instead, which is fantastic. The album just arrived just then, and I've really been enjoying it. They're from Crouch End, if you can believe that, in North London. Oh, why wouldn't you believe it? They've got to be from somewhere, right? Not Edinburgh, though. And that's nice and chilly, and it really doesn't matter if you shake it that much, because as you can see, I have a rocks glass, well, it's actually a double old-fashioned glass, already filled with ice. I'm going to strain my drink into that. And we go, get that sort of, because you've been shaking it, it gets a little bit frothy, and that looks very, it looks very autumnal. Not autumnal, it's bitterly cold winter out there. And I really thought I was going to add, not a honey crisp, but I've got a cosmic crisp apple here, and I was going to do a wedge of that in here. But I want to be true to this cocktail. Portland's been having some horrible weather recently, so I'll be nice to them, and, well, not nice to them, acknowledge that the real recipe has a twist of orange in it. Let's do a nice, healthy twist of that. Slice that down there. But it's hard getting through it. The orange might be a little on the old side. I always typically twist it, because that's why it's called a twist, right? You twist it. But this time we keep it in the drink, and this is what we have. Let's see how it is, shall we? Oh, that is super delicious. Super appley and spicy and whiskey-ish and very seasonal. So maybe this will keep me warm while there's the ice-cold northern tundra out there. Cheers.